keeping an eye on Funky. The way things are going, he could really fuck shit up for all of us. At this rate, we just won't be able to sell any vaccines.
Of course. They won't be able to sell any more. Those evil poison vials. Like, how are you guys doing? Can we get a 5x5? That would be seriously cool. Wow, where's that light coming from? Oh, creepy alien stuff. 43 people live. 5x5, please. Audio and comms check. One old husky. Awesome. Good to see the regulars in the house. Rachel, sweetheart, good to see you as always. Who else have we got in here? John Farley, Harry Young, DA. Wow, from Melbourne, Australia, mate. Great. Epic. Sweet. Peter, good to see you. It looks like all of the notifications are going out. If you're watching the replay, sorry about this. We have to do this because of the shadow ban, and it takes quite a while for all of these notifications to be sent out to people who are subscribed. It says we've been live for 5 seconds, and I feel like I've been talking for 3 minutes. Wow, how weird is that? So, yeah, people are coming into the house. Awesome. Right, what we're going to do, whilst people are still coming, because the notifications are going out right now, like I said. So if you're watching on the replay, just skip 5 minutes, okay, unless you want to just watch the show in its true organic fashion. So, guys, girls, where are you watching from? I done the live stream this morning, which is unusual for me, and we have people from all around the world. It's bonkers. Right, we've got Dominic is in Reading. Hey, Dom, good to see you, mate. Peaky Plinder, Timbuktu. Really. Rosemary is in Birmingham. Morgan 71, Carmarthenshire. Phoenix is Lancashire. Wow. Loads of people are jumping on. Awesome. Good. So the notifications are working. Spot on. Yorkshire, Pud. North Yorkshire, where the wonderful weather is. Good to see you. John Farley from Leeds. Awesome. We got Joanne, Waterlooville. Well, it wasn't far from where I used to live. Dom is great. Missenden. I have no idea what that is. Sorry, dude. Autocorrect is my worst enemy. Falmouth, I remember you from yesterday. Good to see you again. Sam Outdoors in Cornwall. Wonderful Cornwall, of course. We have got Stash kicking it real in Lancashire. Wow, we got loads of people. Blimey, crikey. Luke Smiles, Bristol. Ooh. Dapper, that's in South Shields. Carol is over in Bath. Wonderful place Bath is. Kitty is County Durham. Debs is Queensland in Straya. Good day. 3D Carbon UK. Chester. Alan is in Leicester. Awesome. Oh my God. Bishop Auckland. Did you know that Bishop Auckland was the first place to win the World Cup football? True. The Jules Rimet Trophy. Or the Thomas Lipton Trophy. Sorry. Get it right. Sorry about that. Anne is over in the Deutschlander. Guten Abend, Baguettes. Shepherd in Lincolnshire. John Baldwin in the house. Good to see you, John. Always good to see you, John. 5x5. Thank you for the comments check, sir. Much appreciated. We got Chris, West Yorkshire Central. Keeping it real. Cornish Bob. Glad I just got in. Oh, wow. You've been out, and yeah, it's getting colder. Has anyone noticed the weather's getting colder? Yeah, start prepping, people. More videos about that as we go through October. It's going to be quite a busy month for me. Lots of stuff to put out there. Right. We got Bart, West Yorkshire. I'm absolutely cream crackered. I'm flying on the seam with my ass, but we're gonna jog on regardless. Jim West is Hertfordshire. Awesome. We got Claire Johnson, Stockton on Tees. I've been up there. West Auckland. Yeah, man. Hard for core. Stoke. Well, Liz. Good to see you, Liz. Moderators in the house. Flat Cap Gaming. Loud and clear. Thank you very much. In Birmingham. It's great, isn't it? Thanks very much for that. Much appreciated. Right, sweet. Okie dokie. Let's bosh that out of the park. Done. End of. Right. Okay. Today has been a mad day for me. It's been real busy, like most of us are. Weekends, you know, we're supposed to be resting at weekends, but really, you know, who rests these days? No one really rests anymore. And it sort of segues into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is, have things changed forever since 2020? You know, we've spoke about this quite a few times, I'd say. When you look at the title of the video, you know, nothing has been the same since 2020. And we are living in strange times, okay? 100%. You got to be absolutely, I don't know, off your tits on drugs to think that everything's fine, normal, there's no problems. Believe it or not, there are some people like that out there. We just have to let them be, okay? Just, they're a waste of energy. Just leave them, all right? So, it almost stems from some of the verbiage, if that's the term, of what was being put out there during 2020. Okay. Now, who remembers when the media in the UK was saying a new normal? We heard that a lot, right? And it's almost like it's a preconditioning NLP phrase, possibly, to make us change what was like before. So, yes, a new normal. It is. I really think it is a new normal. You know, you don't have to go back too far. Like I say, it's nearly 5 years now, believe it or not. Okay, we're only a few months away from 2025. We're going to talk about that a bit as we go through the video too. So yes, 2020, literally, in my opinion, and I believe maybe other people, you know, think the same way as me. I don't know. I'm just been thinking about this today, and I thought, you know what, I want to talk about this because I think more people need to talk about this because, you know, one of the main things which is becoming increasingly evident now is time seems or feels to be speeding up. You know, how many people watching right now? Let me know in the live or in the comment section if you're watching on the replay. Do you think that there just never seems to be enough time anymore? It's bonkers. You know, the amount of stuff that was going on in 2020. You know, if you wanted to really do a deep dive theoretical study into manipulation, brainwashing, etc., 2020 was an absolute cold Stonewall classic in manipulation college. Okay, it was absolutely nuts. So many things literally skyrocketed in 2020. Who remembers when you'd see YouTube videos and they had the thumbs down? If you look at the screen here, look at this. World Economic Forum, okay, 224,000 views at the time, okay, 900 thumbs up, nearly 3,000 thumbs down. Now, what was happening, I've mentioned this before, is this was only a 1-minute video, okay? Lots of people watched it and thought, bullshit, and they voted it down, okay? Now, this changed during 2020 from what I remember, okay? So much has happened since then, which is part of the reasons why we need to talk about this stuff, is lots of us have pretty much forgotten lots of things. And so much has been happening, literally, since 2020 till now. We are we have been living in extreme rich history. So many things have changed. It's unbelievable, unfathomable. So yes, look at that. The World Economic Forum being called out because the thumbs down, if that was getting more than thumbs up, people were going, why? And then what would happen? They would immediately go to the comments to see why are so many people hating on this video. They looked at the comments and my God, maybe people woke up in the comment section on YouTube videos during 2020 because 90% plus, I would guess, was an absolute overwhelming, stone bonking, over the top win. It was just massive, absolutely huge in favour of the thumbs down. And, you know, people were just calling it out left, right in Chelsea. It was insane. Some of you remember, you know, some of the things that were happening in 2020. Since then, we've had all of that woke pride, complete bullshit, absolute complete bullshit. We have seen a huge, massive uplift in aerosol spraying, which has been causing all sorts of weird and wonderful shit all over the United Kingdom. 100% have to do with what we are seeing here. Lots of things have happened. We've had attacks on our food. Trying to grow crops in the UK, it's been an absolute total disaster. In fact, we've been having massive floods of late. There was a video which popped up on my YouTube feed earlier saying one of the main A roads, almost like a motorway, completely underwater. Huge. And, you know, it boils my piss sometimes because you see people saying, it's called rain, get over it. So these retards, in fact, they're probably bots, which are purposely being put into videos, comment sections to just stir up hatred. They probably get some undermined, okay? There's always going to be someone in there. It goes against the grain, stirring up shit. People react, they get their buttons pushed, and boom, off they go, just making himself look a tit, you know? So it's crazy, all right? We've had all of that nonsense which come out in 2020, which basically just got loads of people to download crap onto their phones they really shouldn't have done, but they did. You know, who remembers Protect the NHS and all of that nonsense? Okay. But, you know, we could just go on and on and on showing imagery to, but I think we all understand. Okay. So the new normal, going back to where I started, 100%, they said that on purpose because the times that we're living in now, the things that have changed is far from normal. All I can do is try to get you guys to really think as hard as you can back to 2019 before all of this bullshit started. Okay. Fuel at petrol stations was all under £1 a litre. Food was like 50% cheaper than what it is now. Traffic wasn't as bad. In fact, we could just go on. There's so many things. We're going to go through some of these things because as I was thinking, I thought, you know what? I just started writing all of this stuff down, right? Loads of stuff. So we're just going to go over them, okay? Apparently, you know, picking up on the people that I speak to, listen to, stuff I watch online, not many people really want to work anymore. Now this could be down to all sorts of things. Maybe people are waking up. People are just going, do you know what? What am I doing? Working my nuts into the ground for hardly anything. Because once I've paid for all my bills, there's nothing left. And what little is left is going to be taxed anyway. So I think lots of people maybe are waking up to the point, do you know what? I would just want to go out, work for myself, do what I want, screw paying taxes, you know, because people are waking up to why the hell are we supporting this broken system, which is heavily biased towards the 1%? If everyone, I'm not saying this, but can you imagine if everyone stopped paying taxes everywhere? The powers that be would have no money, basically. So we are paying for our own demise via taxation. Some of it sort of makes sense, but you know what I mean? You know, if you've got a vehicle, I understand if you pay taxes on that vehicle when you buy it or whatever it is, it maintains the roads. That seems fair enough. But, you know, what about all the other taxes? What are they doing? Where are they going? And they're very high. In fact, if you look at every single revolution that has ever happened in human history, most of it, not all, but the majority of it is due to overtaxation. People are going, do you know what? You lot, do my head in. We've had enough. And we're going to take you out. And they did. Just remove government. Went in there, sorted them out, done. Put their own people in there. Things were fairer. No corrupt evil shits. And life was better. Over time, the evil shits start crawling their way back in there. And it ends up being a shit show. Thanks to the Rothschilds, etc. But you know what I mean. So lots of people don't really want to work anymore. They've had it up to here. Okay. So people are now thinking like, what now? You know, lots of people, you know, a long time ago used to think to themselves, you know, where am I going to see myself in 5 years' time? And you start getting loose plans in your head, what I want to do, what I want to achieve. I'm going to give it 6 months at this job. If I don't like it, I'm just going to go. And they start planning, they do things. And 5 years later, wow, they are massive steps ahead to where they were. Now, it seems like, well, what's the point? Because things have become so frigging unpredictable. It's, you know, lots of people are thinking, well, what now? What do we do now? It's just weird because, you know, like I say, people are working their nuts to the ground, everyone's skint, and people are saying, well, there must be more to life than this. And of course there is. You know, we're human beings, we're social animals. We shouldn't be, you know, working ourselves to the bone for little money to support all of these rich, greedy, evil, corrupt bastards who are seemingly running things behind the scenes. I think it's down to 2020, like I said, it's the great unveiling. Okay, lots of truths are now being exposed, and people are going, whoa, I've been in a weird dream and I've just woken up. What am I doing with my life? Because the powers that be pretty much want us to be born, be given a birth certificate to be registered. So basically, you're issued with a serial number. You are then a commodity to the state. You are literally floated on the stock market. Fact, you are a commodity. All right, we don't even know this. We haven't got a say in it. You know, there's two of us. There's straw man, but you know what I'm talking about. Most of you, you don't need me to bang on about it. So all of that stuff's going on. So I think people are literally waking up to thinking, what am I doing propping up this crappy system? It doesn't help me. In fact, if you really want to know how much the government love you, think about what happens if you fall on hard times for no fault of your own, you end up on benefits. Wow. What an absolute circus that is. They want to know the ins and outs of a duck's ass and pay new pittance and make sure that they press all of your buttons on a continual basis to literally piss you off as much as possible. And it's barely enough to get by. That's how much the government care about you. If you've been an honest, hardworking person contributing to the system for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and something happens, and when you really need their help, guess what? They screw the shit out of you. Wow. Thanks, government. So then you become ill. So you go to hospital. Wow. Waiting lists, shortage of beds. Crazy. You got to pay for parking to go to a hospital. Everyone, there's short staff, there's no beds, ambulances are parked outside with people in there. All of this stuff's going on. And you've got a heads of department in hospitals on 200,000-300,000 a year. Wow. That sounds fair, doesn't it? So that's how much the government care about you. When you get to pensionable age, which is always going up, you know, I'm just turned 50. So when am I going to get a state pension? I'm going to be 95. Most of us won't even be alive. So it's just a joke. It's a con, it's a scam, and people are waking up to it. That's why I think 2020 has literally changed things forever. People very slowly are starting to come to and starting to wake up. Okay. So what happened in 2020? It literally split the global society in half. Roughly 60-40, 50-50. No one really knows. Let yourself be the judge of that one from what you've experienced since 2020. So what am I talking about? Those who are asleep, i.e. those who think it's a good idea to prop up this crappy system, to say yes to everything, to not break any rules or any laws, do as they're told, shut the hell up and get squeezed and believe everything that the mainstream media and the government and doctors all tell them. Okay, extremely compliant individuals. That's what the government needs, and that's probably what they got. So that's half of the population. The other half, maybe people like you, people like me, who are not falling for this bullshit anymore. No way. You know, do you want to stick that stuff which is untested into your body? RNA, really? And it's coming from the government. So you're telling me that's a good thing. Basically, what should have been going on in 2020 was ask yourself a simple question. Do you trust the government? Yes or no? If it's no, what the hell are you doing getting that stuff squirted inside of you? Let that sink in. But they did. So it's us and them. It's divided everything. And that's gone everywhere. It's affected relationships, you know, marriages, work, colleagues, people have fallen out at work. Okay. Friends. We've all had it. I've had it. You've had it. You know what I'm talking about. We've had lifelong friends, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, lifelong friends. They know the ins and outs of each other. Okay. This stuff happened in 2020. One of them decided to do as they're told, and the other one said, nah, screw you. And then they fell out. It's happened. You know it is. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but this stuff's not being talked about. But it's happened, okay? So this all leads to like uncertainty of the future. You know, you've lost your friends. You're at work. The boss is a tosser. He wants you to follow the rules and all of that bullshit. You're unhappy there. You feel trapped. 2020, you was probably isolated. You're living in your flat on your own. You're too scared to go out. All of this stuff, and it's sort of this is long bleed over. This is long residue from that. This is still going on. I've been driving around Wales and England recently, and I've been seeing more and more, not many, but some people wearing masks, face masks. Even today, this morning when I was out. Yeah, crazy. In broad daylight, outside in the fresh air, walking around with a freaking face mask on their own. Wow. Like, don't get me started, but you know what I mean. If you want to show where all the stupid people are, or sorry, maybe that's a bit strong, maybe show all of the afraid people. If they're wearing a mask, they're afraid. Simple as that. That's the only thing that I can conclude it to. They're so afraid that they feel if they don't wear that, something really bad's going to happen to them because they believed the bogeyman from the government. That's why they're doing it. So it's split a lot of people in half, okay? And I don't think we're going to get that back. The only way that this is going to fix itself is the people who were asleep in 2020 at some point wake up and they rekindle their friendships, their relationships, all of that sort of stuff with their work colleagues over time. That's the only way I can see things changing, because all the time one group says I'm sticking with this one and one group I'm sticking with this. They're not going to get back to how it was. All right. It's very political, pretty much. Okay. So what about before 2020? What about the jobs, the amount of jobs that are available? House prices, all of these things have changed since 2020. Okay. Like I said, we are 5 years pretty much away from 2030. And there's so much negative soup being served up around 2030. It's insane. We got central bank digital currency, digital IDs. We got like massive leaps into transhumanism and all of that stuff. God knows what's going to go on with future, you know what happened in 2020. I suspect next year, September, October next year, I think 2025, we are going to see whatever happened in 2020 2.0. That's my prediction for next year. Not this year. We're still waiting for the World Health Organization to get their pandemic treaty all sealed and done. That's going to take at least a year, which brings us conveniently into 2025, halfway through the decade of doom from 2020 to 2030. You know, this is a crazy 10-year period, and we're almost halfway through it. But be under no illusion, friends, not many people are still here. Lots of people are no longer here. and we're going to get onto that in a bit. So if you can please share the video, can you hit the thumbs up as well? That helps. Share it on Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram. Do it right now if you can, and come back, pause it. It'll be fine. All right. It really helps because we need people to talk about this stuff. I really do think we need to talk about this now because we ain't going back to 2019. Not a chance. So what do? Talk about it. We work out things and we do what we can to make things as comfortable as possible for ourselves and our loved ones. For the time being, that's all we can do. Okay. So what happened in 2020? People were working remotely. Okay. So this affected a lot of social interactions. Like I touched on earlier, human beings are extremely sociable animals. Okay. You get a human being and you isolate that person for a year, 10 years. It's not going to do very well. Okay. So we have literally been nudged into communicating online rather than in the flesh. Okay. If you go back to 2019 and you look how many pubs, libraries, cafes, which were open in the UK, and look at the difference to what it is now. It's a massive, it's a different world. Okay. Lots of people used to go to a pub to socialize. Some people would leave their phones at home because they didn't want to be spied on and snooped on. Some people, believe it or not, are not stupid. And that's a good thing to do. All right. All of that things changed. Lots of libraries have closed. They're trying to push everything online. Why? Because everyone who goes online can be monitored easier rather than going to physical buildings and, without any spying devices. They got no idea what the public are talking about. Be under no illusion, people, the government and other nefarious agencies really are keen on everything that you say and do. Privacy is literally under attack, and it's been massively ramped up since 2020. 100%. Of course, what happened in 2020? Do you remember when they furloughed people? Now, personally, it's the first time in my life I've ever heard that word, furlough. It's a new one on me. So basically, what happened? 6 months minimum. People, not everyone, were told to stay at home to save lives. It's true. In fact, I got a snapshot of that, like I showed you earlier. Look at that. Stay at home, save lives. If you go out, you can spread it. People will die. And look, there's a real a suffering guy in bed there in hospital. Stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. What an absolutely ballsy advertising campaign maneuver that was. But it worked. People shit themselves, stayed at home. And they were told, don't come into work. No, because you're going to kill everyone. Really? Of course it's bullshit. But people believed it. Now, why did they believe all this? The majority of people believed this because no one would believe that no one could spill so much bullshit and get away with it. Don't forget, the bigger the lie, the more believable it is. Look at 9/11. Yeah, they pulled that off. They pulled this off. And guess what? There's going to be more things that they're gonna pull off as well. We're in the driving seat. We've got our seatbelts on. What are you going to do about it? They literally don't give a toss. They're going to do whatever they want to do. They don't really care about us. You remember that song? It's true. It's absolutely true. So furlough, 6 months, stay at home. They had to be paid. The government gave people free money for doing jack shit. Wow. How many times in your life do you remember that happening? There you go. Don't work. Stay at home for 6 months and we'll pay you. Well, they did say we'll pay 80%. Okay. Now, I approached my boss, the company that I was working in, because at the time I worked there already for 13 or 16 years or something like that. So I said, as a gesture of goodwill, using that bullshit management speak, would you be prepared to pay 100% of my or our wages until this issue is resolved in the hopefully near future or something like that? I worded it all management bullshit, right? And they said, yeah, fine. Wow. In for a penny, in for a pound. Don't knock it. You don't know till you try. And I did. Wrote a proper letter, gave it to my CEO of the company. Yeah, I was furloughed for 6 months on full pay. And 2020, who remembers? We had a beautiful weather, didn't we? Yeah. Easter was amazing. Summer was incredible. I'd done a small holding. Just drove around. Everyone was at home, scared. I had all of the roads to myself. There were skips outside. People were renovating their houses because we were bored, throwing away good materials, wood, metal, plastics. I literally asked them, helped myself, took it back, and it built it. It enabled me to build an entire miniature homestead in my back garden. That was my lockdown project, as it were. All free. Just used my brain, no fear. Went out there. It was great. No traffic. Driving on the wrong side of the road. No one around. It was really cool, actually. I loved it. But yes, so when this happens, the government had to borrow money from a central bank to pay everyone for 6 months for doing nothing. Guess what? 18 months to 2 years later, they had to pay it back to central banks at interest. When that happened, what did we experience? Everything went up in price, didn't it? On top of the prices that rose in 2020 anyway. So 2020 and 2022, if you was to be a market analyst and look at the prices of everything jump up, yes, it coincides with the loan from central bank to local governments, and it had to be paid back. Everything went up. So guess what happened? Everyone found themselves in financial difficulties. So much so that is happening right now. So you could say, and this is a very valid point from what I understand, is all of that bullshit in 2020, okay, it stopped. No one's dying from it anymore, etc. So we should be really going back to normal. People going back to work rather than working from home, blah, blah, blah. And the prices should come down. But they're not. Ever heard that term? Never let a crisis go to waste. And they are frigging milking it for all they're worth. Look at the profits of all the major supermarkets in the UK. Look at the profits. Okay. They are literally screwing everyone over. Wholesale. They are. Absolutely. So financial difficulties, 100%. Everyone pretty much is in the shit. And it affects everyone at different levels. Okay. So if you're used to having, say, £2,000 yourself over a whole year period to spend on whatever you want, you know, maybe you're only getting £200 now. Maybe if you was fortunate enough, if you had like 2 or 3 foreign holidays a year, and you're moaning because you can barely afford to do one now. Regardless of what you think, it doesn't matter. Everyone's different. Everyone got affected, whether they're rich, poor, in between. Everyone is being affected by this financially, 100%. And I'll tell you what, you try doing YouTube videos talking about this, and they take most of your advertising revenue away from you because they don't like people like me talking about this stuff. So shout out to everyone who has been donating behind the scenes. Really appreciate it, because like I say, they are making it very difficult for people like me and others talking about this stuff. Okay. So also, I've done a video on this about 7 months ago as a guess. Okay. It almost feels like the sense of time has all been screwed up. Because when you say, oh yeah, do you remember what happened in 2020? People think it's 2 years ago. It's nearly 5 years ago, a long time ago. So much stuff has been messed up since 2020. Who remembers Trump allegedly nearly got killed recently? People have forgotten all about that. That was can you imagine if he would have genuinely been killed? Can you imagine what would have happened to America? There'd be a hell of a lot of pissed off patriots out there. And who knows? We could have seen a civil war. We could have seen it really kick off. And he was lucky to survive that. People forget these things. So sense of time has been messed up. Like I said, people feel like they've got no spare time. If you want to go and meet up with friends, it's almost like you've got to make an appointment now, because there's always so much to do. There's always so much to do now. There's less shops open now. Lots of businesses crumbled during 2020. And why did they crumble? Because They have been brainwashed from birth to follow orders from anyone in positions of authority. Boil away the piss, we're talking about the government. The government says, shut your businesses down, it's too dangerous. Okay. And they did. And lots of them never opened again. There were some very, very brave businesses, excuse me, which carried on trading and opening all through 2020. Who remembers that gym in Birmingham? Yeah, they was having £25,000 a day fines from the government because they wouldn't shut. Yeah, they had like the heavies go around there, police and all the rest of it. It spread all over social media. Loads of people went there to stand by that gym, and the police and everyone backed down in the end. But that business is thriving now. All of the people who've done as they're told, they've gone under, lost a very, very good business, all because they have been so used to saying yes all the time, regardless of what they think. The government, when they really needed help from them, they weren't there, and they all went bust, all by design. So how is it fair that all of these shops were told to close, but places like Burger King and all the rest of it were told they could open? Yeah, they really care for people. Healthy, organic, nutritional, independent businesses were told to close. Junk, shitty food was told you can open. If you can't smell a rat then, if you can't see that the government are not your friend, I don't know what I can do for you. I really haven't got a clue. You guys are off your cake if you think the government are your friends. Wow. It's about time you wake up. And you woke up fast. The government is not your friend. In fact, one of the t-shirts which lots of people like me wearing is this one. Don't steal. The government hates competition. It's true. They're mafia. Mafioso. For sure. 100%. All the way hype. The mafia and government are best friends. Okay. What about different opening times and opening hours? How many of you have seen a difference in opening hours? Skeleton staff. Some shops used to be 24/7. Now they close at 11 o'clock. I know some friends in America and Walmart. They're so used to going to Walmart. If they're working nights or on shift and they're on their way home at 4 in the morning, pop in the Walmart to get their shit. Guess what? Oh, we now close at 11. Not many staff working. Wow. A multi-billion business like Walmart are doing shit like that. Yeah, it's affected loads of things. In fact, here in Wales, one of the most difficult things is trying to remember every single independent business's freaking opening hours. Because let me tell you, they are all different. There is no structure. There is nothing normal. Everyone opens whenever they want. And if you forget when they are open, you are going to make that 20, 30, 40-mile round trip only to find out that they're closed. It's crazy. And they are changing the opening times quite a lot. So what you're used to for the last 6 months, last week they decided to change it for whatever reason. This never used to be a thing. Most shops here in the UK would open at 9 and shut at 5 as a basic. And most of them would open at 6 or 7 and close at 6 and maybe open Saturday morning. Now, forget it. You're looking part-time at best. So lots of things have changed since 2020. Let me know what you think. Have you been seeing the same sort of thing where you are? Different opening hours, have they changed? Are they the same as 2019? Maybe the big conglomerates like Costa, Starbucks and all them tossers, you know, nothing's going to change. We're talking real businesses, not these hyper-inflated, tax-dodging, greedy bastards. The normal shops. They're the different opening hours, from what I can understand anyway. All right. Another thing, like it coincides with time being all skewed, and people are going. I'm finding it hard to keep track of time. Time seems to be going so fast. What runs alongside that is people are now getting short-tempered. Okay, the rise in anger across the globe now, moreover the West, has never ever been higher. So many people who used to be mellow, chilled out, level, zen. Now they get triggered like that. They could be in a car, someone will pull out in front of them, and they go, whoa, 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 careful, mate. Now they'll get out their car and have a right pop at the geezer in front. It never used to be that way. Do you know what? This happened to me. Someone told me to get out of a post office and put a mask on. I lost my shit. And I'm never been like that. Right up to his face, I had a right go at him. This guy, he was shitting razor blades like a dog. He crapped it. It's not like me. But this has happened to so many people. Loads of people I know. I've heard people say it in comments and stuff like that. Wow. Lots of people have got short tempers now. Never used to. So many things have changed. I think it's because if you're awake and you know the score, and you're so frustrated because you're seeing people out there who just are thick as pig shit. You know, they're as thick as a corned beef sandwich, right? They're walking around, they haven't got a Scooby-Doo clue about things. And you're thinking, can't you see what's going on? Are you dumb? Have you got something wrong in your head? It's frustrating. And people get angry in an environment like that. And it's happening. And you've got time seems to be skewed. People are just lost to shit with time these days. Okay. People are losing the plot real fast. Never used to. And the third thing in the trilogy of what I'm talking about now is tiredness. Let me know right now in the comment section, or if you're watching live, let me know. Are you absolutely exhausted? Are you having a hard time sleeping? Are you knackered most or all of the time? I'll tell you what, I'll bet you there's a lot of you out there. And you know what? You're not alone. I've got a feeling that 80% of everyone alive on the planet right now is knackered, but it's not being talked about. I've done videos on this. It's crazy. The response is insane. So many people are knackered. Time's going weird. People just don't understand how fast the time's going. People are losing their shit, mainly because they're tired. If you get someone and they've got no idea of time, they're forgetting to have breakfast or they're eating it late, so their energy levels are getting low and they've had crap sleep. Okay, of course, these people are going to get more snappy. This is happening on a global scale, right? This isn't just a few isolated incidences. This is big, huge. This is fundamentally changing society on planet Earth and Western society as we speak right now. And I can't see it getting better anytime soon. In fact, all the shit that we've been seeing is probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Yeah. Seriously. Even kids in general just seem unhappy now. Now, maybe that could be because the sign of the times, right? You know, lots of kids now, all they do is they see their parents on their freaking phones all the time. The kids want to do the same as their mum and dad because guess what? What the kids do? They copy older people. They're born in this world. They don't know what to do. They see people. They don't want to stand out for being ridiculed, so they copy. And who do they copy most? Their parents. All right. And if they see their parents scrolling on their phone all the time, of course they're going to want to do the same. They're going to bang on and on and on until they get a phone. A lot of parents go, "Oh, just get him a phone." 5 years old. Wow. Bad move. Now the kid is addicted to the phone, being exposed to all kinds of bad shit. Okay, not getting the love, care, and attention and support which he should be getting from his parents. So kids are appearing to be more tired, more snappy, no idea of time, and they are unhappy. It's so sad to see. And when you see as a parent, some of you are parents out there watching now, you know what I'm talking about. If you see kids who are really like, they just walking around like this and they just seem so depressed, it gets to you, you know. And we could all as parents try our best to make sure our kids are healthy, happy and safe, but with all of this technology literally being jammed up our asses everywhere, it's very difficult, and kids are suffering because of it. And it all adds to this pool of gloom which is being cooked up by government and other nefarious agencies since 2020, of course. What about doctor's appointments? Has anyone tried to get a doctor's appointment lately? Has it been straightforward? Did you have to wait ages? Was the service really good? I suppose the answer to those three questions are no, crap. What about hospitals? Even worse. If you went to your GP complaining of a pain somewhere, he checked you over, there's not much I can do. I'm going to refer you to hospital. They're going to provide you with a consultant. They're going to check you over more thoroughly. They're going to give you options, surgery, etc. So from the initial point of going into your GP with a pain until, if you're fortunate enough to get surgery, could be years. Wow. What happens to that broken, twisted, stretched, torn, whatever issue? What's it going to be like over a couple of years? In fact, how many people were due to have an operation during 2020 and it got postponed and it got worse? There's loads of people out there, lots. Let us all know in the chat and in the comment section. Okay. 2020 really did throw the cat amongst the pigeons. What about here, off the top of my head, what about driving lessons? How many parents out there have kids wanting to do driving tests? The backlog for driving tests since 2020 will be finally over May next year. 5 years of backlogs. Yeah. In fact, if you want to get a driving test like we did back in the day, it didn't take a couple of weeks. Try 6 months to a year. You're going to have to wait just to get a driving test. 2020 has changed so much. Well, I'm not joking. It's really screwed up so much stuff. You're seeing an increase in traffic. Roadworks. How many people are being absolutely pissed off to the back teeth of roadworks everywhere? Right? Here in Wales, oh my God. It's almost like, do you know what? It used to be the norm is come springtime, April, okay? Financial year end, a new year financial year would start within local government, i.e. councils. All of the roadworks would be done in the lead up to April because they've got excess money left and they want to use it all, spend it all, maintaining as much road infrastructure as possible just so they can qualify for a big lump payment from central government at the start of the new financial year. That was usually what would happen. What we're seeing now, we're seeing roadworks every bloody week of the year, and it's a nightmare. Let me know what you think. Have you been seeing roadworks where you are? Never used to be this bad, did it? No. And lastly, the biggest thing, which I think is affecting most people, would be mental health. There's so many people out there who are struggling big time. I'm here to tell you that, do you know what? You're not alone. Don't think that you are, because so many people are feeling the same. I'm not making it up. I'm not. This isn't fear porn or clickbait. There's so many people out there who are struggling. And guess what? In light of what's been happening, it's okay to be like that. It's absolutely normal. Don't feel bad about it because we have been put under so much pressure since 2020. It's a freaking powder keg waiting to go bang globally. So don't feel that, why do I feel a bit down? Why do I feel a bit low? Why do I feel depressed? Why do I feel tired all the time? Why can't I earn enough money to enjoy myself and relax and be happy? Don't worry, you're not alone. All right? You're not. You're just not. Oh, dude. Repent and believe in Jesus Christ. Wow. Bless you, brother. 14.6. Thank you very much for that. That seriously helps support the cause. Seriously. And Carl McPhee, you're a legend again. Wow. Got my back. Wow. We have people to help. So I want you guys to ponder upon what we've been talking about tonight and see if there's anything that you resonate towards. Because like I said, there's a lot that has changed since 2020. And if you can you share this video, all right, to people that you know, right? What if it's work colleagues, okay? Work colleagues who took part in the bullshit in 2020, who you think may be waking up. Share this video with them, make them watch it and talk about it when you go back to work the next day. Okay, there might be a few things that you can help them with, okay? Because the more people that we can help, realize that it's okay to feel like this. We're all going through it. All right. We've all been conned and tricked by God knows what up there. And people are realizing and waking up, and things are different now. Okay. Things have changed forever, I reckon, since 2020. But the glimmer of hope at the end of all this is one day there will be an overwhelming majority of people who know what's been going on, who will work things out together in local communities, and they will stop aiding local and central government in any way possible. The whole pack of cards will come falling down, and we will be so much better off for it. Imagine no more chemtrails. Weather, don't forget, Mother Nature is cool. She will figure it out. Okay, things will stabilize. We'll be getting nice weather back again. People will feel happier. People's vitamin D levels will increase. Not many people are going to be ill because people have woke up to the big pharma bullshit. Okay, just think about it. Most people have an area where they can grow food. If you haven't, there's going to be somewhere near them where they can. Imagine if everyone started growing their own food. They wouldn't have to be taxed to the arse for everything that's happening with all the poisons and God knows what. So have a think about it. And like I said, please share this video on Facebook or WhatsApp or Telegram. Them three things really, really help getting the message out, because I really want to see a good amount of people. And when I read the comment section tomorrow and the next day of what people think about what I've had to say tonight, because I believe things that I've discussed need to be talked about. People need to hear this stuff, seriously, because all the time I'm being silenced and people aren't seeing my videos. Wow. There's opportunities for people to be woken up and feel valued, and they're going to be missing out. So if you can share, I really appreciate it. If you can hit the thumbs up, super awesome. And if you want to subscribe to more videos, be my guest, hit the notification bell, and hopefully you'll be getting notified for every live stream and every video that I do. There will be some giveaway and some free stuff coming up soon, so stay tuned. Also, there will be a newsletter going out on Monday. So if you haven't signed up to my newsletter for free, all the information you're going to want is below the video. Click more, everything will drop down, and you'll see everything that you're going to need to help you. Okay, there's an email address if you want to shoot me an email. I've got loads. I'm going to try and go through them probably tomorrow. There's lots. Okay, so I apologize if I haven't read your email. There's so many, right? We're trying to help, and there's a lot of people suffering out there. So emails are difficult to reply to. Like I said, the newsletter is free. You just want a name and an email address, and it's all good in the hood. All right, it really does help. And also there's discount codes for all sorts of kit and equipment. One of them was the brand new water filter, which Lifesaver are doing, and there's 10% off for a whole year. So if you are sick and tired of your shitty tap water, that is awesome. People are using them in their vans full time now. Okay, all you got to do is go underneath the video and you'll see Lifesaver water filters. Click on the link and it'll take you to the website. And there's a link, there's a code which will give you 10% off everything on that website, even Olight, the torches, which I do. All right, money off of that too. So I hope that helps. We try and do what we can. Oh, I recognize BCTV. Good to see you again. Thanks for the support as well. Really appreciate that. Funky, would you be interested in talking about my experiences as a NHS subject used to test illegal blood products in the 80s? Bloody hell. I'll have to have a think about that. The weird thing is when I have people on to do interviews with, not many people get to see them, and they don't really like it. People just want to hear me talk for some weird reason. And yeah, I'll have to think about that. I'm not sure where it says illegal. I've got to be careful because I'm already getting kicked in the nuts. But thanks nonetheless. Send me an email and we can explore that further for sure. Brilliant. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got time for, boys and girls. Thanks very much for taking part in the live chat. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for commenting under the video, hitting the thumbs up. It really helps. And yeah, keep on your journey. Stay on your path. As my awesome partner says, Rachel, stay in your lane. It's important. Right, you guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.